This isn't your typical ballroom dance class. But then again, Mark Sakely isn't your typical dancer.
I was injured in a car accident when I was in college. I was 20, and but before that, I was very physical and was into a lot of the arts, performance arts, and into dancing. And I used to love to dance. And I missed one of the things I missed most in a chair is sort of that feeling of flying that you have when you're dancing.
But now he can have that feeling again, this time in wheelchair ballroom class, a class he takes with his wife, Sarah.
Doing this kind of dancing together has been fantastic for us. We particularly love the waltz because it is such a lyrical kind of dance, so lilting, and you can really be close, and there's an elegance to it that you wouldn't feel in the kind of movement limitations that some of the wheelchair dancers have, but you can really kind of leave that all behind with the waltz.
But for Mark, it's more than just the act of dancing that brings him back each year. For him, this class is a step towards getting his old life back.
They tell you when you're first injured, people look at you differently, think of you differently, react to you differently. And it's your job to sort of convince people, I'm the same person, I just sit down more often. This way, it helps you let people know you're cool. You're still the same person.
Mark's life changed a few weeks after this picture was taken of him at a bus stop. The accident happened over 40 years ago, but Mark remembers that day like it was yesterday.
Well, I was injured when I was in college in 1974. I was in my junior year. It was my first class of second semester in my junior year. It was a theology class. I was at the University of Notre Dame, and it was a class titled Death and Dying. I never made it to class, but I came in DOA, and it was the one teacher that gave me the course while I was in the hospital. I was in the hospital for 6.5 months. I broke my neck and my back, and they did the neck surgery about a month after. I was in critical condition for 2 weeks. They didn't know if I was going to live or not. And then it was about a month after that that they did my neck. And then because I had with such impact when the car went into the telephone pole, it snapped the seatbelt, and put a gash in my hip, and they didn't want to put an infected bone into my back because they had to use parts of my hips to fuse my backbone together back in those days.
But a few minutes during the waltz, the rumba, and the tango makes Mark put all those memories aside and enjoy his ultimate goal, dancing with his wife.
I just love to see them smiling at each other, flirting, having a great time moving together, being playful, being sensuous, taking risks together with movement, laughing. It's just such a wonderful thing for them to do together. It goes way beyond dancing.
Sue Green teaches the ballroom class, and she says although it looks different from traditional classes, it still encompasses the same patterns and forms.
Learning how to wheelchair ballroom dance is learning how to coordinate your movements with your partners. So we have a sitting partner and a standing partner. And a lot of the times they do it by holding 2 hands, but it can be done by 1 hand. And it has to do with making a frame, as all ballroom dancers do. All ballroom dancers make a frame when they dance, and that's how you hold your arms in a way that you can use your body and movement and your arms together to partner. And so they learn how to do that. It's very, very, very much like all ballroom dancers do.
And although it might look difficult for others, Mark is a natural.
For me, it's sort of a natural feel. I do have sort of a natural sense of rhythm and motion.
Mark and Sarah have been taking this class for years, and with moves like this, they probably always will.